Rustem Umerov is speaking, so let's have a listen.
Ceasefire. We exchange on modalities, and our teams will be working on exchanging the details. The third objective was our president was expecting the high-level discussions in here, and I think the next step would be that the leaders-level meeting should be organized, and that would be our next step. So at this stage, we once again would like to reiterate Ukraine wants peace. Ukraine is focused to people, and we're able and capable to continue fight, but at the end of the day, we need to finalize this war. So thank you.
Thank you, Rustem. First Deputy Foreign Minister.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is potentially a very good end to a very difficult day that is a result of many weeks of work of our leaders, of the President of Ukraine, of the United States, of President of Turkey, and our European partners, Prime Ministers and Presidents. The tentative success of today's negotiations is still to be consolidated. That means that the pressure on the Russian Federation must continue. We should not really relax at this point. And there are many issues that can be resolved if only the leaders can meet, because given the complexity of the issues and given the nature of the Russian Federation, where practically every single issue that is at stake can only be resolved by President Putin, we are looking forward for having the summit sooner than later. The fact that one of the results of today's discussion is a possible exchange of 1,000 against 1,000 persons is an excellent news, potentially excellent news for 1,000 probably families in Ukraine. And if only for that result, we had to go here guided by our leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Vadim.
OK, we've been listening to a press conference in Turkey. Initially, we heard from the Ukrainian Defense Minister, Rustem Umerov, talking about Ukraine and Russia agreeing to exchange 1,000 prisoners of war each after their first direct talks in more than 3 years. Let's cross to Bernard Smith, who's following the events in Istanbul. So, Bernard, Umerov also at pains to say that the next step should be the leaders-level meeting next, and Ukraine wants peace, and the country will and can continue to fight, but they need to finalise this war.
Yeah, that was the main thing. I mean, the only concrete thing that came out of the meeting was this exchange of 1,000 for 1,000 prisoners of war. And you heard there Ukrainian's defense minister saying the most important thing to resolving this conflict was a meeting between the two presidents, Vladimir Putin, Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky invited Putin here after Putin suggested holding a meeting. Putin didn't take up the offer and sent a much lower level delegation. But as Donald Trump said on Thursday on his way to Abu Dhabi as the meeting was taking place, he said the only way this is going to be resolved is if I, Donald Trump, meet with Vladimir Putin. Zelensky wants to be in on it as well, but certainly a feeling amongst the Ukrainians that at this lower level, nothing is going to be resolved. Remember, the Ukrainians were looking for a 30-day ceasefire immediately and unconditionally. They've not got that from the Russians, who want to discuss the broader future of Ukraine.
Indeed. All right, Bernard, thanks for that. Bernard Smith there in Turkey. Thank you.